you guys are here, and that's the main thing. Alrighty, things that I want to touch on. If you've got any questions, if you want to take some photos throughout, that'd be amazing to help my social media. If you are ever doing a Zoom call with a client on online anytime for a skin consultation or whatever it might be, you can get them to take a selfie and tag you. It's just really good exposure. So that's tip number one. So if you can do that the same for me, Chi Marie Salon Mentor, or hashtag Spark Salon Success. And before I dive into the training, it's the 18th today, the Spark Salon Success competition, which is your opportunity to win a $10,000 mentorship program with me and with my team at Chi Marie, which includes like huge amount of foundational marketing skills, as well as staff management, business management, knowing your numbers, and could even potentially include a live retreat on the Gold Coast. You need to enter, and by doing that, you take a selfie in front of your logo, or you have your logo somewhere in the picture, and tag us, hashtag Spark Salon Success and Chi Marie Salon Mentor, get you in the draw. It's the 18th today, and you can get one entry per month until the end of August. So you've got not as much time. Everybody's sort of putting it off because it is a long competition, but we need it to be because it's a huge prize. So, all right, let's dive in. Social media for your salon. I've literally, I said to a client this afternoon, I should have just recorded this phone call and put it on the webinar tonight. So we've been talking about social media all day, and lots of new cool stuff is coming up at the moment in terms of ideas around how salons can attract more clients and become the authority in their area, educate a lot online, and really leverage it to build relationships and make a lot of money. And I think that has come out of the fact that we weren't allowed in our salons for so long, and also, you know, just the rise of social media generally, and the way that people choose the businesses that they interact with. And often that is because they get to know, you know, the staff or the salon owner, or the salon in general, before they even go there, through the use of things like Instagram and Facebook stories, and posting consistently, and, you know, written articles on LinkedIn and wherever you choose. So that's where we start. Basically, I always suggest pick one platform that is really you and that is really your ideal client, and focus your energy on that, and allow the others to sort of cobweb in or around it. And the way you pick your platform is by who your ideal client is. So most of us know, like, between 18 to about 35, we're on Instagram. Older than that, we're on Facebook. But then also considering income, finances, status, all that sort of stuff. If you do want to bring that into play, then you're looking at things like LinkedIn and business platforms. You can build on Pinterest, depending on, you know, what kind of audience are you wanting to target. So the first thing you want to do, if you want to have a successful social media platform, figure out exactly who it is that you want to connect with, how they want to be spoken to, how you want to have your brand voice come across to them consistently, and then put your energy into that, and then allow automation to spread your message from there to other platforms. So for me, it's Instagram, and for a lot of salon owners, it's Instagram. But you can, you know, set automation to automatically post to Facebook, Twitter. Like, there's a whole range in there. And then if there's not an automation set up inside for things like LinkedIn, you would then set the time aside to manually do that, so that it is spreading, but the message that you're writing and the message that you're creating is purpose built for whichever platform you choose. So I've got just a little list because I wanted to sort of start from the beginning and not just waffle on tonight. So just excuse me as I look towards my book throughout the chat. Right, so once you've chosen your platform, you then need to put a bit of time and energy in. This is all simple stuff, and you've probably already done it, but I'm sure that there is tweaking that can be made. Putting energy into creating a really powerful and emotive profile page, whether that's your actual grid on Instagram, and that's where you want to put in, you know, those power words in your bio, and making sure that you've got a quality link, or you're using something like Linktree, which is a program that allows you to put one link in your Instagram bio, and inside that link are, you know, a collection of different ones. If you go to my page, you'll see that. And, you know, for you, it might be your website. If you're doing a special offer, say link to this offer in bio, and it will take them to that specific treatment on your booking page, or your gift voucher sale page, to your product page, to your Facebook, or to your LinkedIn, so that you can literally just feed people to those links to broaden their knowledge of you, so it's not all on Instagram, let's say. I'm going to talk mostly Instagram because I'm guessing most of you are on that platform. So just to make it easier for me to use one example rather than constantly be changing. But when it comes to your profile, you want it to be personable enough, but professional. Obviously, you know, if you're a salon with several different staff members, treatments going on, you know, you've got a big space. It's not just you, but you still want to create some personality in that initial profile, so that people can see it and then sort of get to know you from the very first few words. And you also want to make sure that the name of your Instagram page, or the name of your Facebook page, has beauty salon, eyelash extensions, you know, waxing studio in it, so that when people are actually searching for what you've got, you show up. If it's just some weird random name that you think is really beautiful, then you're going to be undiscoverable, you know, in the social media search world. You want to keep it simple, and you want to use those, you know, in your at link as well, so that keeps it quite simple. You don't, I remember a while ago, mine was Chi-Marie _immediate_response_marketing, and I spoke to an Instagram genius, and she was like, no one's going to be searching for that. Like, that's that's too much work. Make it something that people are searching for, so you show up, and you're not just like, you know, hidden in this cool name, totally unseeable, unfindable place. So there's some tips on your profile. And then you want to create a vibe around your posts and your consistency. So I like to talk about not just the image vibe, but the like how you voice your branding. What's the voice of your brand? Are you fun and exciting and silly, or are you very serious and educational, or do you like to mix them in a little bit, but in quite a clear way, in terms of, you know, you're easygoing, but you definitely know what you're talking about? Think about how you can represent a brand voice so that you can have it quite clear if somebody else takes over to help support you with your social media in the future. You can very clearly say to them, this is our brand voice, this is our brand image, this is how you need to, you know, keep it streamlined. And it also allows you to stay consistent, because as humans, we're like constantly up and down, and you're feeling crap one day and you're not doing very good posting, and the next day you're feeling like super energized and you're like way outside of your brand voice. So if you've got that, you can really streamline the effect that you have and the following that you create. And with that, authenticity is a great way to go. Way easier to be authentic and stick with your authentic self than it is to create a brand voice that's actually not you at all and takes a lot of time and effort and energy. And obviously, you know, every salon has a piece of the owner in it to a degree. So the salon has its own little personality. And if you are larger than sole trader and only you, then you can stick with that little salon personality. You know, if you really think about it and look outside your business, what feeling do you get? How do your staff represent it? How do your clients see it? And then that's your brand voice. And then you can create your brand vision, I mean, like graphics and things like that, to be really consistent on a program like Canva. So I'm going to share my screen with you. And I'm just going to show you. This is my Canva account. So what you would do so that you can stay really consistent is this is how I do it, is create a design. It's going to be an Instagram post. And then you can literally create one after another, after another, after another inside this document and just download as you go. So I'm going to show you my actual one for my socials. So most of you on the call tonight have come through my Instagram account, so you all know that that's kind of my theme. It's got my colors through it. It's quite simple. And all I'm doing here, you can see there, I've just duplicated that. What I might do to make it a little bit different, but still in brand, obviously, you know, change whatever my font is, and I might grab that leaf, flip it, and put it on the bottom, just so that they're not all the exact same thing with a bit of writing, but it allows you to then go through and I go, oh, well, for this, like I like the two-tone font. So I'm going to duplicate that, copy that page, and I'm going to write social media training. Make sure they're all lovely and centered. And then I'm going to add, you know, some different images around that, but it allows me to stay on brand and be really consistent. I did that one today. So all I did was a fresh one. I took that photo this morning, popped it in there, got my brand colors. I've got my logo. Literally everything is in my, where is it? Uploads. So like all my brand stuff is there. So it's really easy just to drag across and stay super consistent with the way it looks. And it, like I made that in about 30 seconds and popped it up on my Instagram in an hour because I was not very organized tonight to get it all automated. So yeah, you can see all of that, and then I head down to the bottom and I've got my images. So then it's sort of a different look. And that allows me to then mix up like my white background with the writing with some images, but I've still got the leads, I've still got the logo. It's still all in the same style branding. And I think there's like 68 pages in there so far. So you can create something quite simple. Canva's got lots of tutorials, but you might just want to do like a very simple little border, and then one or two images or colors or whatever that you use consistently, like pull them out of your business name or your logo so that you can stay consistent with your business image. And then you want to automate it. So unlike me tonight, I should have had it automated so that I can literally focus just on building relationships in Instagram and creating stories, and not at all during my week should it come up like, what am I going to post online today? It should be like, cool. I know that I've done a month in advance and it's all pre-written and done. If you guys haven't got my social media content calendar, it's free. It's in the link in my bio. Download it and it'll give you an idea about topics to write about, when to post, what to post, posting, you know, how often, all that sort of stuff. It's in there. Once you've got that, then you can pre-create your content for a fortnight or a month and you're all set. And then I personally like Planoly to do all of my pre-planning. You can see inside, it allows me to make sure I am sticking with my pattern and the way that the layout looks. You can see here, I've got an image next to an image. What's happened there is I've done a live Instagram story and I've posted it to my feed. So if you look on my feed, you won't see those images next to each other. You'll see like a clear white sort of background. So that's why that's a bit off. But as you can see, it's all following suit. And then up here, I've got a collection of posts that are ready to be finalized and automated. So that's how I suggest you do it. Planoly is very simple. So you will create yourself an account. It's free to only post on Instagram, but it won't post on Facebook as well, or vice versa. And then I think it's like $12 or $13 a month, and you can automate like crazy. So how you do that is you'll get a blank. This will all be blank. You're going to click add to grid. Who knows what's in my downloads folder? Lucky things. Here we go. Let's say we're going to add that, what I made before, and open it up. Nice. Upload as one post. And then there it is in the grid. Now we're going to open it. And the best thing that I love about Planoly is that you can save hashtag groups. So you don't have to sit there copy and pasting from your phone or literally manually writing in hashtags, which is torture and totally time ineffective. So let's say we want to write, hey, this is that's our post. And then I'm going to schedule it for tomorrow at 7:15 a.m. Now, I'm going to make sure that it manually posts to Facebook and Instagram by clicking those across. And I'm going to head to my hashtags and I'm going to select which ones I want. So then that literally adds in a whole heap there. What I do is leave 3 to 5 available so that I can do a quick edit to personalize it to that post. And then you can see it's like really backing up on my text. So I'm going to go full stop, full stop, full stop. Just so it actually allows me to have that space. Yeah, so I leave 3 there so I can say hashtag free training, hashtag social media, whatever. And then that's good to go, and automatically post to Twitter there as well and save. So then it'll move itself from up there down to where my scheduled posts are. As you can see, that one already went out, but it's got a little flying airplane that says it's automated, and you can literally do 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever you want in advance. So then that is done, and your content is high quality. It's pre-thought out. It's delivering messages that you want your audience to read and that they feel you've put time and energy into. So let me just go ahead and delete that. And once you've got your theme set up, it makes it a lot easier to continue with it. There's like so many themes out there you can do like the 1-2-1-2 in terms of like written and an image, or light and dark, or you can have it like slowly changing colors, or there's so many. I found, because I was getting really overwhelmed with what I wanted to do, 1-2 was so good for me, because I always knew that it would be simple and effective, and I could put my content out, you know, in imagery and writing. So 1-2 literally means we have an image here, Spark Salon Success, in a full nice block color. We've got a white background with a bit of writing, and then we've got an image again. Then we've got a white background with a bit of writing, then we've got an image again. So 1-2-1-2, it's easy. But obviously do your research, decide what's going to work for you and your brand, and then stick with that. From there, I suggest, if you are in the process of building your following and interacting as much as you possibly can, I would suggest posting between 4 to 7 times a week. I spoke to a lady this afternoon who was like, what? She just sort of like had a little laughing breakdown. Like, that is so much. But the thing is, if you're not getting interaction on your posts, if you're not getting views on your posts, and you're doing 1 a week, you're literally wasting your time, because it's going to be on the feed, if it even is, you know, for a few people for a very short amount of time, and then it will be gone. So the more content you can put out, and the more eyes you can get on your posts, and then on your actual profile and your grid, then the greater the views, the greater the interaction, the more social media likes you and puts you in more people's feeds. It's really about building that, you know, in the beginning. If you've got like a huge following that are commenting 100 comments on every post and liking 1,000 times, you could probably do 1 to 2 a week, and then just be doing stories. But for now, if you're at a point where you're wanting to really expand and grow, then be really consistent and get quality content out a lot. So 4 to 7 times a week. Sorry to tell you. Have you guys got any questions? Please put them in the chat box. Is everything that I'm saying hitting home? Is it making sense? Is it helpful? I'm going to get into a little bit more detailed stuff now about actually growing your following, but please let me know where you're at with what I've said so far while I have a sip of tea. I'm getting a thumbs up. Everybody's all good by the looks of it. All right, cool. So to build from, you know, a cricket's Instagram, or a friends and family commenting sort of Instagram or Facebook, I really need you to realize that it takes time and energy and effort. It's, even if you are just posting consistently, it's not going to build your audience, and it's also not going to collect your group of ideal potential customers. So if right now you're fully booked, you don't have time for another thing, but you want to still continue to grow the business, I highly suggest that you find somebody to support you in your social media growth plan. Whether that be, like I said on my story the other day, like a high school age student, year 11 and 12, who are looking for some extra work, who've got incredible English skills, and who are great already on socials. That's awesome. The pay rate's pretty quality, the, you know, award wage, so it's not going to cost you a lot to get them on at 30 minutes to an hour every day. Or using somebody in your business, a receptionist, or having it as a rule, when you have downtime, you jump on the Instagram and you start commenting, following, unfollowing, connecting. So what the time consuming thing is essentially, first thing you can do is, now you've got from right at the beginning your ideal client. You know what kind of age group they are, hopefully what their interests are, maybe what their professional status is. That really comes down to the LinkedIn stuff. And then hopefully you know where they spend their time. Look for businesses in your local area who are not your competition. So if you're a beauty salon that doesn't do hair, your hairdressers in the area are perfect. Your nail salons, coffee shops, gyms, Pilates studios, whatever it is in your area, they're going to have ideal clients following their social media pages already, which means you can literally head over and have a little look at their followers list. Who are they following and who's following them? You can also ask, if you do find in your local area somebody who's a really perfect fit for you and your business in terms of shareable clients, you can ask to do a live with them about putting together a competition, or about maybe offer them a free something that you can video the journey of, whether that's a skincare or hair care or nails or lashes or whatever it is, so that you're getting in front of their audience via collaboration. Otherwise, in your 30 minutes to an hour every day, you can jump over to those accounts that have got people in your area who are your ideal clients, and literally go through and follow, make sure they are the ideal ones, but follow as many as you can, and then put, so 30 minutes on that, and then put 30 minutes into going into the people you are following and commenting and connecting and building relationships. And that might be, you might say, look, I'm going to do 10 accounts every time I jump on, and I'm going to click on their account. I'm going to choose 2 to 3 of my favorite images on their account. I'm going to like them. And then if they've got something that really jumps out to me, I'm going to comment on that and say, love what you've said there. I totally agree with that. Or incredible image, beautiful, blah, blah, blah. And there's never any, hey, follow me back, or weirdness like that, like the bots do. It's literally you connecting in. Do you only follow the accounts that do not require request approval? No, I follow the request approval as well. Some of those request approval accounts are really high quality. Some of them are influencers. If anybody knows Peter Kelly, she's got like 1 bazillion followers, and she's a private request account now. So that's totally fine, because once you're in there, you can still connect with those people and build relationships. It's literally, there is no point being on social media if we are not building relationships, because that's literally all it's there for. And those relationships turn into, hopefully, if that's the goal, money and appointments and lifelong clients and all those sort of things. So I think it's been 4 weeks now that I've been focusing on building my Chi Marie followers. I think we started at about 340 and we hit 1,000 this morning. So, and that's all salon owners. And that is literally from just following and connecting with my ideal clients. And I make sure that they're in Australia, New Zealand, Canada, the UK, or America. So outside of that, it's actually a human being, me, or one of my team members being in there and connecting and following. And then what we do is I use an app called IG Analyzer. There's tons of different ones out there that basically allows you to see who is not following you back, who is following you back, and who has unfollowed you, which is really powerful in terms of being able to strategically unfollow. So a lot of people are doing like mass following and then mass unfollowing. And I think that can be, well, not really constructive, for one, because you're not building relationships, you're just trying to get your numbers up, and there's no point having 60,000 followers who couldn't care less about you and don't interact. But also quite rude in terms of people are following you back and they're wanting to interact and you're just doing bulk follow and unfollow. So what you could do is spend, let's say 3 to 5 days where you're just following, just commenting, just interacting, and then give it a few days of just interaction. So you're just commenting on people's photos, you're watching stories, you're responding to them. Give that about 3 days after your last day of following. So we've got 3 to 5 days of like intensively following and interacting with new accounts. And then we've got 3 days of just interacting with all those new accounts that you're now following. You can then jump onto your IG Analyzer or the app that you have for your social media and see who still hasn't followed you. If someone hasn't followed you back after 3 days of you sending your follow to them, they're not going to. So you can then unfollow them unless they're really ideal. Then you can, jump in and put a little bit more energy into building that relationship. Maybe they've got a great following in the area, or they're somebody important or whatever. Then you would put in more energy to build that relationship. Otherwise, you can literally unfollow those ones, and you might, circle back around in 6 weeks and go back through and go, I'll follow them again now and I'll give it another shot. Maybe they were just not really on Instagram at the time, or whatever the reason. So then, getting puffed, gosh, I really can blabber on. So then what you can do is, if you want to, depending on what kind of thing you can offer and whether you want to have that initial touch point, is you can set up an automated message that goes to every new follower that you get. I've just set that up myself, and I have used DM, like Direct Message Pro, DM Pro. It's $19 a month for 1,000 follower messages sent out per month, and it's free for the first 20, so you can try it. And basically what that does is, when somebody follows you, you can say, personalize it a little bit, like, hey gorgeous, hey beautiful, hey lovely, thanks so much for the follow, it's awesome to be connected. Because you've popped onto our account, we'd love to give you, whether it's a well-crafted ad or a free $10, $20 off their first service, or
here's what I found.
Oh, Siri's talking to me. Or a let me just get rid of her. Very, very creepy Siri. Whatever you give them from there, and you can then use that to, you can either say, head to the link in my bio to get it, and that link in your bio might take them to somewhere where you can actually collect their information, as in their name and their email address, which then gets them into your mailing list, which then builds a closer relationship, which turns into sales faster and faster and faster and more and more and more. So that gets a little bit techie, but not really if you have somebody who can help you out with your website, if you've ever done landing pages, if you use MailChimp, all those things, they can be set up quite easily. But the original message with the DM Pro is super simple. So just head to it's a website, DM Pro, you type in the message that you want to send them, and it starts automatically sending to every new follower. And I personally think it's a great idea because it connects immediately, and a lot of people do reply and say, thanks so much, or that's awesome, cool to be connected. It just starts a conversation, and then they feel like they have a little bit more invested in a relationship with you because of that message, which means they'll probably watch your stories more often. They'll probably reply to your stories, connect more, and soon turn into a real life paying client. How does everybody feel about those tips? That was quite a lot of me blabbering on at the speed of light. Yeah, thumbs up. Any questions at all, please send them through. Is that like simple enough for you to do? Thumbs up. Nice. Cool, cool, cool. No questions. We're good. Alrighty. Where are we at? Just taking that time. So then with your stories, obviously that's your general posting. The lady that I spoke to this afternoon said, I'm not really sure, like I look at other people's accounts and they're posting professional shots, professional photos of themselves, and they're looking like very prim and proper and beautiful. And she said, I'm not really a big makeup wearer, and you know, I don't get all fancy when clients come, so I don't want to put out a false sense of who I am. But I also don't want my page to not look beautiful. So the suggestion there is that your Instagram page is essentially your social media website. So on your website, you would never put up, you know, a dark, badly lit selfie of you just sort of like hanging around. You want it all to be very beautiful, really represent the brand of your salon and what your clients are going to expect to see when they come in, but you know, maybe even next level. And then when you're doing your live stories, like your Instagram stories, that's when you can show your personality a little bit more. And you know, you don't have to be full makeup and fancy outfits, and that's where you can have a bit of a laugh and a joke, or be more casual in terms of how you educate and what you talk about and all that sort of stuff. So with those stories, I do suggest you do that, and it makes it a lot easier to be completely natural and normal and who you are on your Instagram stories, because you're going to be a lot more likely to get them done than if you feel like you always have to be full face makeup and looking nice and have your hair done and all that sort of stuff. It means that you're always going to be putting it off. That was literally me. I was like, oh, I really need to like get a little bit more beautified so that I can do this video and this and that. And now it's like, oh, I've put mascara on this morning. It's like halfway down my face, but I've got something really important to share. And I'm just going to let them know, sorry about the mascara, but had something to drop in and tell you about. And people like that. You know, people like to feel connected with you as a person. I'm sure that every single one of you on this call now follows accounts of people who are, you know, on the other side of Australia or the world, and we feel like we know them. Often I think like, oh, I wonder what so-and-so's up to. They don't even know who I am if I exist. And I'm like, why haven't they updated their story today? You know, I needed a bit of a laugh or whatever. And they're always the accounts that people are just totally themselves and sharing honestly and providing quality content. It's like TV, but social media and real people. So having the combination of a beautiful feed and a grid, and then the reality of you being there, and be there consistently on your story. Don't make it patchy. Like as you're starting, I would suggest doing a story at least 5 days a week, so that you start to show up and you start to just automatically be watched because you're in people's story lineup. People spend 90% of their time on Instagram watching stories. So you want to be, you know, that's where you want your message to be, and you want people to be watching you. Another really cool thing that I was discussing today is, you guys would have seen that I have been doing a live every Thursday morning where I talk about a particular topic, and salon owners can jump in and ask questions and we can have a chat there. And I just started, I think today was the first day, time's a bit warped at the moment, where I did a business audit for a salon owner, and we basically spoke about what she was struggling with. I could ask her questions, she could respond, and she could ask me questions, and we were both live on Instagram. And I think the ability for a salon owner to do that is so cool with offering maybe free skin consultation or a free like skincare fitness plan for anybody who puts their hands up and is willing to jump onto a live. So what you could do is say, before the live, I'll just get you to send me a few of the main issues with your skin, and you can sort of get a little bit of a map or a plan ready for them. You can then jump on, ask them some more questions. And the idea is you're not helping just that one person. You're showing your authority, you're showing your knowledge, you're showing your professionalism, and you're building a brand around, you know, providing quality to your audience and everybody who's watching. So if your ideal client is a early 20-year-old female with acne, or struggling with their skin, if you're able to do a few lives with somebody who's brave enough and willing enough to step up, you could even offer, you know, a free gift to them, whether that be a free facial for anybody who wants to, or is willing to jump in and spend 30 minutes with you talking about their skin. It allows you, it doesn't cost you much money, but it allows you to grow a real reputation and a real authority around for those people watching you. You could also just do a 6-week, not live, but just a 6-week progress video of somebody having skin needling, or like 6 months, or however long it is, whatever you're focused on, so that you've got like nice short clips. You're checking in, you would upload it to IGTV or to your Instagram story and save it in your saved stories. It allows you to provide more content. It creates more interesting content for your viewers, and it kind of stops a brain block for you of what you should be saying on your stories and what kind of content you can be providing. I hope that was helpful. What was that other thing? 1 second. Oh yeah, so even if you don't want to go live with a client, just going live yourself once a week, or twice a week if you want to, and doing an educational live for 15 minutes on, or you could get guest speakers in. Let's say you got a nutritionist in and you said, we're talking about the importance of gut health for skin, and you know, what kind of supplements you should be taking, and how that will affect you, and you know, whatever it is. You can either get guest speakers in, you can just talking about your products, talking about whatever you want to, but making sure that it is informative and providing value. And that's the key, is providing value, so more people want to watch, more people want to jump on your mailing list, and it makes it available for more people to buy from you, essentially. And then turning those followers into actual paid clients. So I put the challenge to you that for the next even 2 weeks, I would do 4 weeks if I were you. You promise yourself, and you really put the energy and effort in, to do 30 minutes to an hour every day for at least 5 days a week. And like, I do it at night while I'm watching TV. I'm just on the couch, relaxing, having the time of my life, following and unfollowing, mostly following. I do have a completely kinked neck. This arm's always up. But, you know, you can do it at any time. There is time to do it. Give yourself 2 to 4 weeks, see the growth in your social media, and then decide for yourself whether it's worth continuing. You will see a growth in your income. I promise you that. The more people that are coming into your field who live in your area. That's why, you know, don't bother buying followers or getting bots to do the work for you, because you're going to get followers from all over Australia, potentially all over the world. They're never going to be able to come for a treatment with you. You've wasted your time and money just so that you can look good because you've got all these followers. That's just stupid. If you have 100 followers who come and see you every fortnight or every week, you're a hell of a lot richer than that salon owner who's got 10,000 paid followers from overseas. So do keep that in mind when you're creating the time and putting in the energy to building relationships, you will notice that people start going to your bio and clicking onto your website and booking appointments and buying gift vouchers, and you will see it. If you put enough time and energy in, you will see it in the next fortnight to the next month. So that's without you putting any offers out. I personally, like I said, 4 weeks have made over $4,000. I haven't spent a cent on Facebook ads. I was spending at least $600 a week on Facebook ads before, and I'm just trying it differently now. I have built an audience of a lot more people who are watching, listening, responding to my story, jumping on my lives, building a community there. But also I've literally like hidden my calendar, and I've hidden anything that I have for sale, because the only reason why I'm doing this is because I'm prepping for a launch of something that's happening at the end of August. So none of any of this was planned to make sales or make money. And somehow people have found my calendar. I had 2 bookings at the same time come through today. I've had, sales calls, bookings, support that people want, messages coming through left, right, and center, people saying, no, don't leave me, I need your help. I'm like, I'm not even offering anything. So you will find the same thing if you're able to provide enough value on your page consistently. So do it for 2 to 4 weeks, please. But then when you are actually ready to sell, so when you are actually wanting to get clients through the door, to fill holes in your appointment book, or to, Mother's Day, Christmas, whatever it is, go and check out my free mini course, which luckily that was an issue with the automation. So I think most of you have got that in your inbox now. But that talks about the well-crafted ad and learning how to unpack and repack. So what that does is it allows you to create incredible perceived value to your audience, which is really necessary for social media. People are not there to buy. People are there to be entertained and educated potentially and connected with. But if they see something exciting and something of value, then they will buy. But what you also need to add in there is FOMO and scarcity. So you've got this awesome high value, high perceived value offer. If you say available only for the month of June, you'll probably get calls in the last 3 days of June. That's just how people work. And 80% of those people who plan to probably book it will not. They'll forget, they'll spend the money that they thought they had for it, and you'll lose them. Whereas, hold on, let me have some tea. Look at that, I'm even branded with my cup tonight. Fluke. Whereas if you put a limited number available, and this is like, you can definitely do a time frame offer, but a time frame offer is something where you will need to work at building excitement over, that month or whatever it is, and constantly be reminding people. But a limited number offer means that you will hopefully sell out in 24 to 48 hours. And that's where you put your well-crafted ad in, and I suggest using the 8 maximum available, so only 8 available. You can sell pretty much as many as you want in the first 24 hours, and then after that it's like, oh, we've only got 1 left, or whatever it is. If it stretches out over a week, people lose excitement. People are no longer afraid they're going to miss out because it's still available. So you need to create definitely the FOMO, and then the social proof. So if you put an ad out, you need to say something along the lines of, we're so excited to be offering this incredible package, strictly only 8 available. Comment below, yes, please, to secure yours. What that does, obviously their yes, please doesn't actually secure the appointment yet. They need to book it and pay for it, but it creates social proof and more FOMO, because people are seeing, oh my gosh, that's 3 yeses in the first hour. Well, we're up to 5 yes pleases. I better get in there, otherwise I'm going to miss out. The 8 are going to be sold. So that allows a quick turnaround and creates success in terms of getting the money through the door. Make sure from that point, you know, you take it into a direct message or a phone call or whatever it is to convert and get the booking and get the payment. And if it is for a limited number offer, get the payment over the phone when they book, because otherwise the appointment is not secured. So that's how you would work that. Now, a little bit on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is like a salon owner's dream, really, in terms of really high quality clients, professionals who need their, majority of them, you know, need to present a certain image, which means skincare, potentially nails, potentially lashes, hair, whatever it is, but most of them are professionals, and the income level of somebody on Facebook compared to somebody on LinkedIn, there's a huge gap. There's a huge difference. So if you're able to build a bit of a network in LinkedIn, and it's also, it is a more mature audience, but there's quite a range of professionals in there age-wise. So I would be, whichever platform you choose, whether it's Facebook or Instagram, I would be also working LinkedIn so that you can connect with some powerhouses in your area. And that may turn into dollars eventually by you building a relationship with, you know, one of the big company management in your town, and then buying all their gift vouchers for their staff at Christmas time from you. Or, you know, to get an endorsement from somebody really important in your area. That's, you can personally connect with some really big wigs in your space and send them a private message through LinkedIn. So that's like, there's a lot to be gained out of LinkedIn, and it's quite simple to set up, but it's not set up as a business name. You would set it up, the business owner, your personal name. So it's you, and that you own your business, which means that that's how all, you know, the bank managers and the massive corporate management, all that sort of stuff, it's them personally on there, which means you as the owner are messaging them as the owner. You're not messaging the business, which makes it a lot more personal and a lot easier to get into big places faster. Right, that's pretty much what I have got for you tonight. Look at us, we're like 4 minutes off an hour. I think that's pretty good. Please tell me if you have any questions. Please tell me what value you got from it. Did you already know all of these things? What, you know, what new learnings did you have? Did you take a selfie? Are you going to hashtag and tag me? Are you going to enter the competition? Let me know. I'm just talking away like a wild person now. Stop me. Awesome. No worries. So good to recap on what we spoke about today. That's good. There'll be a recording of this as well, so you can watch back on that. Anybody else got any questions for me at all while I'm here? Please send them through. Otherwise, I do hope that you all gained value and that you're going to head off and do your 2 weeks or month, whatever you commit to, and set a goal for it. Have to be more consistent. Yeah. Set a goal in terms of, like, my goal was to hit 2,000 in 3 months, and I've hit 1,000 in about 3 weeks. So I think I can up my goal, but that's fun because then it's like, cool. It was going to be 1,000, and I was like, no, I can do it to 2,000. And now I'm like, I might go for 5,000. So why not, you know, you guys set a goal, and if you've got staff members, get them on board and get them excited as well. Very helpful. Awesome. You are most welcome. Alrighty, that's a wrap. I won't keep you much longer. It's 8:45. Time to chill out. Hope everybody's having a great Thursday night, and I'll see you all on social media. Ciao.